Deputy John Brady of Sinn Fein joins us now. John, good morning.
Good morning, Declan.
Good morning. Thanks for coming on this morning. There's a development in this old landfill that we are very worried about just north of our border, but in part of Bray, that is there with maybe contentious waste in it, hazardous waste. What's this development?
Well, I suppose there's slow progress being made, Declan, and I've been raising this consistently over the last 10 years, and it's only of late that the EPA have started to put pressure on both Dún Laoghaire, Rathdown, which you correctly state that, you know, the majority of this old landfill, which dates back to the 60s, is contained in Dún Laoghaire, Rathdown, but they've also been liaising with Wicklow County Council as well. And we know up to this stage a number of reports have been carried out, and the latest report, after putting pressure on the EPA, it's called a Tier 3 report, and that follows on from the Tier 2, which identified the volumes of waste, which we know is in excess of 104,000 cubic metres of waste, containing everything from asbestos to all sorts of household refuse to building debris and all sorts of chemicals. And in the latest report, that looks at, I suppose, measures that could be taken to address the waste that's being eroded into the Irish Sea there on a continuous basis over a lengthy period of time. They've identified 6 options that could be taken, and also, more importantly, breaks down the cost of each of those options. But thankfully, it says doing nothing on the site here is simply not an option. So they've, 5 other options that they need to look at, and they are being looked at the moment by both the EPA and indeed Dún Laoghaire, Rathdown.
All right, okay. Well, let's see where this goes. You're on the case anyway, John. Fair play.
On the case, and look, I suppose some of those measures, the most drastic one would cost over €12 million, and that would involve removing all the waste on site there. And people know, I mean, this site, it's one of the first areas that meets people coming into Bray along the Dart line. It's not very well used. It's kind of been forgotten about by an awful lot of people. More importantly, the local authorities. So, what it's an environmental nightmare there at the moment. The waste is being eroded into the Irish Sea. And so keeping the pressure on the EPA, they have a preferred option which involves putting rock armour in at the base of what is essentially a cliff face there now at the moment, with, up to 7-8 metre high, waste on top of that, which is being washed in. So they're talking about putting rock armour in at the base and then graduating the back end of that to stop it subsiding into the...
It doesn't get rid of it, though, that's the thing.
It doesn't get rid of it. So there's more, I suppose, investigations going on. In the Tier 2 report, it had identified areas of concern that there could be more hazardous waste contained in those areas. So they're going in, they're checking them. They have said the asbestos, which is on site, which has been exposed when there is erosion, that is a cause of concern, particularly in the fact that it's been buried in the ground there for the last 30, 40 years, probably more at this stage. So, doing nothing is simply not an option.
Okay.
I think the EPA agree with that now as well. So
we'll keep in touch about that. That's great, John.
Keep in touch with John a second.
Please do. Thank you very much indeed. Sinn Fein TD for Wicklow, East Carlow, John Brady, about this old landfill which has been washed into the Irish Sea with all that hazardous waste on board. Okay, we'll hear music from Warsaw Radio.